This race recap brought to you by Phillips Connect, technology that moves us forward.
Massive mythological logger. Well, guess what? If you go back and read the books, they claim he wore a size 80 shoe. Yeah. This is Steve Torrance's 80th career final round. You do the math.
Well, this is really a classic matchup. 8 championships for Tony Schumacher. They've done some jawing in the most respectful way.
Schumacher smokes the tires late. Steve Torrence is back in the winner's circle. And the Capco boys have done what has eluded them for so many races this year, and not a moment too soon,
you
baby.
already know how your team was celebrating on the starting line, but you said today blatantly that this has been a terrible season for you. The challenge back to holding that Wally in your hands, what's that pursuit been like for you?
Well, I'll tell you, terrible was probably a pretty strong word. I mean, we've been, thanks, brother.
Bring it to Tech.
Hey, I told him before we ran, I said we came all the way as far north as we could get to have 2 Texas boys show up in the final. Hey, good job, thank you. Terrible is probably an overstatement. I mean, when you had the success and the dominance that we've had, it's difficult to not have that. But you just got to grit it and dig through it and go. And I mean, sometimes you just got to bear it because it's tough. And these Capco boys, I mean, they're the baddest boys out here, and we've shown it time and time again. But when we don't win, and everybody's asking you, what's wrong, what's happened, where you at? I mean, we didn't forget how to win, but dang, it sure felt like it. And I got all the confidence, all the faith in the world. They saved my butt right there in the final. I saved them 2 rounds today, so I'm still way behind on them keeping me in the game because that race car is always bad to the bone. But Capco contractors, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. I mean, you keep us out here. Toyota, Redline, Oil, Mac Tools, everybody's stuck with us, and we're doing the best we can. And maybe we're getting our crap together at the right time because we're charging for that number 5.
For Tasca, it has been a back half of the season that he does just simply not want to end. The U.S. Nationals looming in the future. Both drivers now pre-staged. They launch. And Bob Tasca motors at the finish line. It will be Tasca again. 394.5, 329 miles an hour. This guy's the hottest thing to come out of Rhode Island since Cohawks.
This surge late in the regular season for Bob Tasca. 3 out of the last 4 Wallies belong to you. What force of momentum does this take your team in with the Indy?
Everyone wants to know how we're doing it. You go replay the starting line and watch those guys jumping up and down. They're the reason why we're doing it. These drivers out here, we're 5% of the equation. It's team. They've executed flawlessly. Mike Neff and John Schaefer, blown away. I'm so excited for Ford, that blue oval. Henry Ford, Bill Ford, Etzel Ford. The whole Ford team, Jim Farley, they're so excited about what we're doing out here. What a weekend. My wife's having some fun on a boat with her girlfriends. Darling, we're going in the zoo with the boys tonight. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, good job.
1 run. I guarantee you Doug Winters would rather win here than win Indy or win anywhere else on tour. Can he pull it off at his home race against Rickie Smith? They both are pre-staged. Doug's ready. Rickie gives him a second, and now he bumps forward. Oh, he had to pedal it. Rickie Smith is going to get the win at 579.
Well, Rickie, you announced in Topeka that this could be your final season, closing things out on such a long-tenured and historic career. When you continue to add Wallies, how significant is that at this point?
Baby, like I've told you, points is way far out of my mind. I wanted to win a race before I retired again this year. We've done it. Me and Chad's been together 13 years. He's going back home. It's 98%. Unless I win another, this may be your last time you see me win a race in NHRA. Thanks SoCal and Junior Michael Parkway Ford for letting me race a couple more years. It's just been awesome to stay out here this late in my career. Thank you NHRA, thank you D-Wagon for putting up the money. Just God bless everybody, and I love y'all.
We're talking about massive cubic inches. We're talking naturally aspirated. We're talking really fun, really fast, really torquey race cars. The fun part, if you're over here on the left side, keep your eyes on that left front wheel. They'll pull second, it'll pick it back up. They'll pull third, it'll pick it back up. These things sound like they just kind of grunt and groan their way down the racetrack. They're taking a pretty close look down there underneath John DeFlorian's car. and they've told him stage it up. And they just told John DeFlorian to shut it off. It is leaking, and the starting line crew has told him to shut it off. You can see how upset the team is down there. You work all the way into the final round and don't even get a chance to run for it. So J.R. Carr has been told, you've got yourself a solo. And J.R. Carr is going to win another of the Mountain Motor Shootouts here in NHRA. That's certainly not the way you want to win it. But you pull up, you stage up, you let the clutch out, and at 6.34 seconds and 221. Well, they walk away. The injected car will leave from an idle. Cowie will have his really singing when he pulls into stage. They've never faced each other in the final round. Great way to end. 5:21 Sean Cowie, 276 miles an hour. 5:28 Matt Cummings, not enough. 267 Sean Cowie, Norm Grimes out of the number 11. What are you? Then to knock out his old team here in the final round and help Bob McCosh win his first. They ease the two Camaros up into the pre-stage beam. It's time to rev them up. It's time to stage them up. And it's time to drop the clutch. No! Westerfield, 552, 265 miles an hour. I don't know what happened to Bob McCosh, but he dropped the clutch and that thing didn't move. It should have snapped up on the tire. Oh yeah, turbocharged. They're the 1 and 3 qualifiers coming in here. Comp can be a little bit of a chess game. You got to win. You got to protect your index. And Bruno, we saw him earlier roll up and just take the trees. Like, I'm taking no chances with nothing. Bruno's got the number 1 on the side of his car. He went to the final round last week and came up a little short to Doug Ingles. Well, he's back in the final round this week, trying to extract his revenge on Brett Spear. Spear, right lane, lives in Minnesota. He's going to try to turn the world champ away in the final round. There's a handicap start. There's no breakout. Go as fast as you want. Get a green light, and then just get there. Spear is down there. Here comes that turbocharged Chevy. Not going to get him. Check it out. 4 thousandths of a second. Brett Spear gets the win. 727. 180 miles an hour. Bruno goes 702. Mike Mans. Mike's been pretty solid at this place as well. He is a Minnesota guy. That's an A modified stock Firebird, flat hood and all. Dialed in at 880. Handicap is going to be almost a second. Wyatt Wagner, the classic Hugger Orange, 1968 Camaro with a small block. Wheels up and away, and then Mans is going to be on the chase. There's the head start. Both of them wheels in the air. Wagner gets over by the center line. Mans trying to close him out. Here comes the finish line. Wind light. Give it to Mike Mans. 8807, and the celebration ensues for the Randy Mans racing team. 8807. He predicted an 880. He ran an 880. Why? It is a dial-in category. A couple of tenths head start goes to Feist. Ron Feist loves this place. 4 times he's been to the final, 2 times he's won. All here. Tracy Fairchild over on the other side trying to ruin his day. Both of them hail from the state of Minnesota, so the trophy's going to stay in the Gopher State. He's got to figure out if it's going to Brookman Park or if it's going to Aitken. Red light start for the Ford. Tracy Fairchild just picked up his first win, and the first by an AMX in 10 years. It was 2012 in Dallas, the last time an AMX was in the winner's circle. For here. For Tony Leonard, it's the first time on a national event scale he's been racing for the Big Wally. For Craig Anderson, the guy known as Big Head, towed all the way up here from Waxahachie, Texas, like old home week. I can tell you what Craig Anderson's thinking right now. I didn't come this far to only come this far. And Tony Leonard is telling him, you're in my house now, pal. Both drivers away on a green. Tony's car hits the throttle stop harder than any other car on the property. And now he dashes down there. Finish line, 8.903. And check out the Seafoam gang. They are going wild. Tony Leonard, 0.15, dead free for the win. Craig Anderson was 0.10 and 8.92. Comes up Kevin in the left lane, the topless Corvette, going up against one of the big local hitters. Kevin, who rolled down here from Manitoba, Canada. This is the 990 category. They both turn loose. The cars kind of ease back the first 300 feet, and then wide open charge into the stripe, and the wind light says it's going to be Trevor Larson. Again, was better on the starting line. Got there first by 0.02 of his lower cars in the category. His dial is 721. Bertozzi has been on a roll as of late, including 7 days ago down in Topeka, where he hoisted the Wally. It wasn't that long ago out in Seattle when Dylan picked up his first national event win. Dylan trying to get Wally a brother. Anthony just trying to add to a thriving collection. Lights come down. Both of them away on the green. Bertozzi out in front. Dylan trying to close the gap. Finish line. Win light. It's going to be Dylan. He goes 682 on a 681, 191 miles an hour. Dylan Howe picks up his second win in his second category. It was Super Comp in Seattle. It's top drive 11 years ago. Brian driving that Hemi Avenger, 811 inches. A Sonny Leonard Hemi under the hood. Michael Chitty, 632-inch Chevrolet and nitrous. It's handicap, it's dial in, it's 2/10 head start. It's green lights for both. Down the racetrack. Can Michael catch that big old monster Hemi? Survey says no. 6.904, 199 for the win. Brian Anthony, you can set your watch by it. Once every 11 years, he's going to win, and he's going to do it right here. There are not a lot of racetracks where the sleds get to come out and play with us on the National Event Trail. It's one of the other things that makes this part of the country so special. Because let's see, what is sled season up here? From like Labor Day to Memorial Day? And then you get 2 weeks of spring and a week of summer and right back at it. Well, Louis Werble in the left side on the Yamaha. Robbie Lowe on the right side on the Thundercat. 1 and 2 qualifiers, battling it out down to the 8th mile. Oh, Robbie Lowe got a pretty good jump on a reaction timer. Robbie Lowe, he's going to take it to the house. 5:01, 134 miles an hour to a 5:08 at 136 miles an hour. Robbie Lowe got the jump at the start and never looked back. Qualified at
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest in drag racing content and some awesome old school races. Make sure you check out the Competition Plus Power Hour with the Monday morning racer Lee Kraft and Slammin' Sammy Smith every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter channels. It's easy to stay in the know. Download the CompetitionPlus.com mobile app. Sign up for push notifications to get notified of breaking news and the latest feature stories and videos. It's a free download at the iTunes Store and Google Play. Get your CompetitionPlus.com apparel today. Whether it's our nitro-burning funny car design or the vibrant door slammer design, we have the swag to show you are always in the know. Get yourself a hat too. And we know not everyone enjoys wearing a mask, but if you must wear one, at least wear a good-looking one. Check out the new CompetitionPlusApparel.com for the latest from the place where you have trusted for your news on the internet for over 2 decades.